So in this video I'm going to be replacing the heated rear window on this Volvo XC70. The glass is cracked. It's actually a laminated window, which is very rare in vehicles. It's usually toughened glass, it just shatters. The customer's actually going to get a toughened one replaced in it, that's what they want. Most vehicle windows, apart from the windscreen, are toughened glass, they just shatter. But in this one, it's quite a high spec vehicle, so it's a laminated heated rear window that's in it and it's cracked, as you can see there. So I'm going to replace it with the same window but with toughened glass. I've just removed all the stickers from the glass. Give it a good clean up, just make sure there's no scratches or any damage to the glass. Check the heating terminals, connections are fine. And we're good to continue with the job. Always check the glass first, it's the right window for the vehicle and there's no damage to it. You don't want to be cutting the old window out and spending time cutting the old window out, getting the glass prepped up, getting the bodywork all prepped up and then realising you've got the wrong glass. Just make it a habit to check the glass is correct. I've got to remove the wiper. These could be quite tricky to get out, these caps. I'm going to spray a bit of WD-40 in there just to release it. Oh, Jesus. Just got to pry away at it. Terrible design, these. You think there would be a little cutout on the actual wiper here that you could get a tool in and just pop it out, but there's nothing there. You just got to pry it away. You've got to really be careful that you don't damage the actual wiper arm. Just remove the 13mm nut from the spindle. Next thing to do is remove the interior tailgate panels. These are just, I think these ones are just held on with plastic clips, just popped into place. If you just get your pry tool on the back, just gently pull it out. Oh, there's a screw on either side. Got a torque screw in here, it's about I'd say about a 25 or a 30 torques. Just in here, the one on either side of the panel. And now I can just pull the trim off. It just pulls straight off. See these yellow plastic clips? Just be careful not to break them. I'll just remove these clips from the bodywork. Sometimes they come off the trim. Just attach them back onto the panel. Sometimes these clips will break, especially on some other models and manufacturers. These clips are really brittle. The Volvos tend to be quite strong, so you can save most of them, but if they do break you need to replace them. And then we've got to remove this card here. So there's a button here for the electric tailgate open and close. I'll just disconnect that for the time being. A couple of Torx screws in there as well, so I'll just remove them. Be careful not to drop them into the ground and lose them. Oh. And I was going to say just pull this trim off, but it's just fell off. Just disconnect this connection here. What that's for. Just make sure all the clips are on the. They just go into there, so there's 1, 2, 3, one's broken there, one's broken there, that one's bent over. So I just need to disconnect. There's only 2 terminals on this, both for the heated window. There's no aerials or antenna connections or anything on this one. Just push that back in there. The brake light isn't attached to the glass, it's just attached to the body, and it sits just against the glass, and there's a cutout on the glass for the brake light to shine through. What I'm going to do is, I don't need to remove the wiper motor as it's not through the glass. So this is a trimless glass. As you can see, there's no trims or encapsulation on this window. So it just bonds the bond line like any other bonded window right round the edge of the glass. So the bond line on this is obviously just going to be right round this, the edge of the glass at the black band. I've just got to watch these cables here that you don't damage them cutting them out. There's also, this is me seeing how I'm going to cut this out. There's like a locator clip there. And there'll be one on the other side. That's all that's holding it in. So I'm going to cut the glass out from the outside using my cold knife with my multi-tool with my fine blades. Got a good gap here all the way around, so I'll be able to get the tool in no problem, just being careful not to damage the paintwork. So I'm going to use my fine blade, fine, I don't actually know how to pronounce that properly. This is a 19mm blade, so I'm going to use this one first, just to partially cut through the bond. So that's me cut through with the 19mm blade. Use the 25mm blade to hopefully cut through the rest of the bond. I should just be able to lift it out. I think that's it cut right through. It's pretty straightforward, this one. Just that side there, it's Just a blob of glue right down at the corner that's still catching. And we'll just pry it away. Just like that. So once that's cut out, just use my scraper just to cut the glue back, the old bond line. Just try and always remember to, when you're cutting anything, any bond or that back, just to make sure you're pushing the blade away from yourself, never pull it towards yourself. For obvious reasons, if you slip, you could stab yourself with the scraper or whatever you're using. I'm still guilty of it. Always make sure you've got a sharp blade on when you're doing this. Just makes life a lot easier to cut it back. You're using a blade that's blunt. It's just making your job harder. And they're not expensive blades. Or if it's a chisel you're using, it's not, the blades aren't interchangeable, just make sure it's sharp at all times. The scraper I use has interchangeable blades going in it, so I just throw the blades away every 2 or 3 jobs once they start to get blunt. So that's all the cutting part done. Get my gloves off, put my nitrile gloves on, my latex gloves on for cleaning. So I've already cleaned the glass with glass cleaner. Just going to give the pinch weld a brush down, get the dirt that's just built up over the years behind it. It's amazing what gets in behind the glass. Just got a fresh shop towel and get my Teroson VR10 cleaner, just a white spirit for cleaning up the glass edge and the body edge, just to get rid of any dirt, any contaminants, any residue left on either surfaces. Just give it a rub round the edge. Same on the pinch weld, just all the way around, cleaning up the existing urethane line, and then round the edge of the bodywork, cleaning up any bits that's going to be seen. And if there is any little scratches or nicks on the paintwork, we'll touch them up when we prime up the pinch weld, which is next. I'll just give this a good clean up. So once the glass and pinch weld's cleaned up, I'll get my teroson all-in-one primer. Just give it a good shake, get it mixed up well. And this just goes on the edge of the glass and all around the pinch weld where the existing bond line is. Just get your swab, clean up the edge. Just apply it all the way around the edge of the glass. It's usually around about 20mm in for the edge of the glass that the bond line will sit. just enough so it doesn't spew out the edge of the glass, and not too much in so it doesn't spill onto the inside of the vehicle. You don't want the bond line to be visible after the window's fitted, especially when it's you've got to be really spot on when you're putting the bond line on the pinch weld, especially when it's a trimless glass. Sometimes you've got an encapsulation or a trim around the glass, and it'll hide any overspill. It's the same on the pinch weld. Just go over the existing bond line, and that's where you're going to be putting your new bond line, just right over the top of the old one. So just give that 5 minutes to dry on both surfaces, and we're ready to bond the pinch weld up to fit the glass. So while I'm waiting on the primers drying, I'm just going to get my caulking gun ready. There's already a tube of glue in it. That should get me right round. If you're going to be doing this yourself and you just want to buy a tube of glue, polyurethane, I buy it in bulk, so you're not going to go out and buy a bulk box just to do one job. Camper Glass actually do a single tube kit with primer and cleaner and everything in it. There's a link in the description for Camper Glass. You can go into that and have a look. This is Camper Glass is where I get most of my windows for my camper window conversions that I do. I put my suckers on the glass, just hold it back, just to lift it in safely, and I'll just give it what we call a dry lift. I've already done this to make sure it was the right window, but I like to just do a dry lift just to make sure everything's looking as it should. That's spot on. So time to bond up the pinch weld. I'm just going to start at the top corner and just slowly have a nice even pointed bead all the way around. You can see the nozzle's a pre-cut nozzle, so it's coming out in a triangle high point. So once we go to fit the window, it'll push down into it and spread out nicely so there's no gaps. It needs to be 100% watertight. And I'm just following the old bond line as guidance. I'm just going to touch up any joins or any bits of the bond that's maybe flopped over or isn't sitting right. Just make sure the joins are all joined up properly so there's no gaps. That's it bonded up. Basically just lift the window in place. And there's not an exact, it doesn't sit in tight against anything, there's a gap all the way around, so you've just got to make sure that the gap at the left, at the right is the same, gap at the top and the bottom's the same. All I've got to do is I'm going to open this. There's not really any great bits to put it, to tape up, so I'm just going to open it. Just check around the edges that everything's okay. I'm going to gently pull this terminal back and reconnect it back up. Just got to take real care with these terminals, because if you pull them too hard, or if you're not gentle with them, they can actually pull off the glass, and that's the whole glass ruined. Just got to be careful. Just pull it in like that, push it in, and that'll be covered when the plastic trim goes back on. So as you can see, there's a nice even gap, 2 or 3 millimeters all along the bottom there. Just need to check up the side, 2 or 3 millimeters, 2 or 3 millimeters, maybe just a touch. Push it over a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick some masking tape on it. Usually I would tape the glass onto the top, just tape it over there, but because the spoiler's here, it's not going to catch it properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a bit of tape along the bottom here on either side and just leave the tailgate open for probably about 15 minutes till it takes hold, and I'll be able to just take the tape off and drop the tailgate. It's a 60 minute drive away time on this teroson that I use, which means it's safe to drive after 60 minutes, but it really takes a decent grip after 10-15 minutes. I could leave these suckers on and try and move it after 15 minutes, and in fact I will do that just to show you that the grip that it takes after a short period of time. So I'm going to put it up now. That's not going to move anywhere. I'll just leave that there so I can build the interior back up. So what we do here, we just need to do a reversal to build it back up again. I need to disconnect this. First thing we need to do, put this connection back in. No idea what this connection's for. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments. So I'm going to push this back in, but make sure this cable's pushed through so it doesn't get lost in the inside there. So I just need to line this up. Make sure these clips go back in the right location. Just gently locate your clips, push them in. Two screws back in. And the two screws back in this parcel shelf handle. And finally, the automatic tailgate connection. Only goes on one way. So I'll just leave that up for another 10 minutes and we'll see how much the window has actually bonded. Let's put the wiper arm back on. Just make sure it's sitting as it should be. Hand tight. Yep. Just give it a clean off. And I'll just test that the heated rear window, the heating elements are all working fine. I'm just going to leave it open again. And you can check that it's working fine simply by breathing on it, just to build up some condensation. And you can see that all the elements are clearing up. You know, maybe you can't see it with the camera, but I can see it. You can see that they're all heating up and drying the glass. That's fine. All good. Now I'm pushing that glass away for the bond, and you can see it's really starting to take grip now, so I'll just put my tools away. By the time I put my tools away and get packed up, I'll be ready to take that masking tape off, put the boot down, lock the car up, and that's job done. So thanks for watching.